Hello, boys and girls. Today's story is called The Lost Penguin. Oliver, Ruby and Patch were very best friends. They did everything together, swinging high on the park swings, playing explorers, feeding the birds, and slurping vanilla strawberry mint specials in their favorite ice cream parlor. Best of all, they loved to visit the city zoo together. I love the lion, grrr, said Oliver, laughing. The meerkats are so cute, Ruby smiled. But Patch had noticed a little penguin. He looked very sad. Ah, you found Peep, said Sandy, the zookeeper. He's a rescue penguin. He's only just been brought here. He must miss his old home, said Oliver. And there he is, the little rescue penguin. He must miss his old friends too, but I'm sure he'll settle in soon, said Ruby, and they waved to the little penguin and they set off for home. Looks like it's bath time for those penguins. The next day, Oliver, Ruby and Patch visited the zoo again. They went straight to see Peep, but he wasn't there. They ran to find Sandy to let her know. Oh no, Peep must have slipped out when I fed the penguins, Sandy said. Maybe he's trying to get home, said Ruby. But Peep's home is far away, gasped Oliver. We'd better help you look for him, Sandy. They looked everywhere they could think of. In the zoo. Nothing. So they tried the fountain. No luck. The fish shop. Not a sniff. Finally, they walked slowly along the canal. Only ducks here, sighed Ruby. It's getting late. What are we going to do? Just then, Patch started to bark excitedly, his tail wagging round and round. Peep! Cried Oliver and Ruby together. It's all right, Peep, said Ruby, gently stroking the frightened little fluff ball of feathers. They carefully carried Peep back to the zoo, but the gates were locked. We can take Peep back to my house, said Oliver. But Peep is Patch's friend, said Ruby. I think he should stay with us. Why can't I have Peep, said Oliver. You always have Patch. But Patch is my dog, Ruby replied, rather unkindly. They argued and argued. Fine, yelled Oliver at last. You take Peep then. And he stomped off. Oliver, Ruby called tearfully. Oliver, please come back. Patch and Peep have gone. It's all my fault, said Oliver. My shouting must have frightened them away. Maybe Patch has taken Peep home, said Ruby. They raced to her house. No Patch, no Peep. So they rushed to Oliver's flat. Nothing. The only thing to do was wait till morning. They sat up very late, worrying and wondering. It was a long night. Next morning, Oliver woke very early. Ruby, if Patch and Peep aren't at my house and they aren't at your house, Maybe they're at the zoo, cried Ruby. They arrived just as the gates were opening for the day. Sandy was waiting for them. I knew you'd come, she said. Look who's here. Clever Patch, said Ruby proudly. Woof, barked Patch, sleepily opening one eye. But when the time came to take Peep back to his enclosure, he began to look scared. Then suddenly he was surrounded by a flurry of friendly flapping penguins, all happy to welcome him back. See, said Ruby, linking arms with Oliver, home is where your best friends are. Now, who's for a strawberry vanilla mint special? And I think off they went back to the ice cream parlor. Hope you enjoyed that, children. I'll see you soon.